Boris Johnson wins his latest Brexit vote and the European Union threaten the City of London. Hello everyone and welcome to today's show. We have a lot to talk about. It's the day after the big vote in Parliament, the internal market bill. The bill that the media would tell you that it's Boris Johnson breaking the international law. Well, we're going to talk about the reality in this video and also the reaction that we've had from the EU side. But before we start, make sure to watch to the end of the video because we're going to announce the names of the winners of the first members giveaway that we have from Ian Dale's interview, and also a quick update on the Lawrence Fox interview because I know a lot of you have been asking for it. So let's start. So Boris Johnson managed to win his internal market bill, the bill that will change the withdrawal agreement, well, potentially change the withdrawal agreement and the Northern Ireland Protocol with a majority of 77. And almost all the Tory MPs voted for it, and a number of them, about 15, 16, that decided to abstain, with a couple of people voting against it, which is fine for Boris Johnson at this point. Now, the media are saying that the bill is basically there for Boris Johnson to ditch the withdrawal agreement, to break the international law. That's not true, is it? The whole point of it is that it's creating a backstop to the backstop. So in case the European Union decide to break their own obligations for the negotiations and the international law, then we could use that to protect ourselves and protect our union. Because otherwise they want to divide Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. And this is obviously not fair because, if we are leaving without a deal, we want the whole country to be united and sovereign. We don't want the Northern Ireland and that side of the country to be linked to EU law. So that's the whole point. But then the EU are kicking off. Guess what the reaction is? Yeah, the financial sector. Yes, so the EU is now seeking revenge. Brussels have hit back at the UK with major Brexit blow as the trade impasse turns nasty. They were supposed to be making a decision to allow the City of London bankers access the EU markets, and now they've decided to delay that decision in response to Boris Johnson's Brexit bill. Very mature, guys. I mean, it's not really surprising, but because that's the go-to area, the financial sector. But they don't understand that this is not going to work out because it's going to hit them as much as it's going to hit the UK. The European Commission is understood to have put off that decision that will allow the London-based clearinghouses to handle euro transactions to the end of the month after the introduction of this UK internal market bill. And now the top bureaucrats in Brussels said this months ago that they would grant Britain a time-limited access, but now they've said, well, if the UK want to change the Northern Ireland Protocol to keep their country united and sovereign, then, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to give access to the financial markets. Again, very mature. But the problem is that it's actually Michel Barnier and his top team who are struggling. And there have been talks about him moving out because it said that he's basically on his way out towards the end of the year. But seems like they're going to push him out a lot sooner. Because Michel Barnier has been the guy who has been trying his best to negotiate on behalf of all the 27 nations in the EU. But we have a situation where France and Germany are kind of coming up again to say, well, we could just basically take his powers away and have Angela Merkel to negotiate. But again, one of the biggest points of these negotiations is good faith versus bad faith. And the European Union it's almost very close to crossing that line. And this is the whole point of the internal market bill. Now, we have this article that, Sir Peter Marshall has been talking about in the Express about the EU and how they have an issue with legal grounds from their side. So the EU has behaved with shameless illegality and injustice towards Britain, according to Sir Peter Marshall. He said that not before time we are seeing an easing up of the high-level denunciations of the government's bid to protect the rights of the people of the United Kingdom. Now, they say that if the EU were so unwise as to resort to legal action, they would see the withdrawal agreement currently torn to shreds by any court of law which knew its business. The agreement's fatal flaw is that it stems from the knowingly illegal and grossly biased guidelines adopted by the European Council back in 2017. Now, the Council insisted that the guidelines should be the sole basis of the negotiation with the users. But in reality, the EU are completely ignoring that fact because they think they can have their cake and eat it. And this is the line that they've been using against Theresa May and the UK at the time, with Donald Tusk and others saying, well, Theresa May wants her cake and eat it. Well, in reality, that's exactly what Brussels is doing. And people are not that stupid. And as I said, this is exactly why Michel Barnier is losing his powers, because he's losing the trust of the European nations. Yes, bye-bye Barnier. Chief negotiator is on his way out, as is according to one of the top Brexiteers who's close to Brussels. Now, Barnier's days as the EU's chief negotiator may be numbered, and they're suggesting that face-to-face talks between Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Angela Merkel may be imminent. I mean, who would have thought that Germany and Merkel would want to lead the way? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? That was always going to happen. Last minute, they're going to get Macron and Merkel to obviously cook up something as usual. As I said, the problem is that the whole point of Barnier was that he was leading on behalf of everyone. If Angela Merkel gets involved, it's not going to be the same. Yeah, because Merkel obviously only looks after the interest of Germany, but also her closest allies, whether it's France or a few others, or Netherlands, countries like Greece or Italy and the others, especially in Eastern Europe, they're going to be left out as usual. Now, one point about this internal market bill and what's happening in Parliament, all the votes, is just the beginning. We're going to have the committee stage, we're going to have the amendments and the Lords stage. We'll keep you guys posted, but the latest thing we have is actually from Nigel Farage, because apparently he's back with another threat to the Tory party. Yeah, so according to Guido Fawkes, Nigel Farage has announced that the Brexit party is back. He's talking about the anti-internal market MPs who didn't vote or who wouldn't in the future votes with the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He's going to get his Brexit party candidates to stand against them. Now, this is not necessarily the Labour MPs and the Lib Dems and all the obvious ones. He's specifically targeting the Tory either Remainers or the ones who are quite scared of this risky move. Now, this is obviously putting a lot of pressure on the Tory party as usual, which is, again, something that we always need. The Conservative Party needs to feel that pressure to make sure that they make the right decision. Otherwise, complacency comes up, like what's been happening recently. But as I said, we'll keep you guys posted on a daily basis on the channel, because we are the media. And a quick update, as you know, we launched our giveaway competition for the members of the channel last week. We had Ian Dale here. When we interviewed him, we got him to sign 2 copies of his books. And we actually have the names of the winners for last week. We have David McHugh and Liam Damani. Congrats to David and Liam. Thanks again for supporting me and my work so far. If you go on the description box below this video, David and Liam, you can find my email address, contact@mytousi.co.uk. Send me your details and your obviously YouTube username, which we have here, and we'll get these sent to you. The other thing is Lawrence Fox. We actually had Lawrence Fox last week. We interviewed him. We had some technical difficulties with the sound. We had to invite him again. He's coming in tomorrow. We got also another giveaway, Lawrence's latest CD. It's already signed. So again, members of the channel, your name will automatically be entered. So if you guys obviously want to join and also get other perks, become a member. For Lawrence's interview, we're also going to start something new. Again, the members of the channel, you guys can submit questions at the end of the interview. When I finish everything, I then pick a few questions that you guys have sent. Just say anything. Could be political, could be random, could be fun. Yeah, make it interesting. Go on the community page as usual if you're a member, and I've already posted the actual thing, so you could actually leave a comment with your questions, and then I'll pick a few and I'll ask Lawrence tomorrow. Thanks again everyone for supporting me and watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm My Tousi. I'll see you guys in the next video.